coming to you first, sir. You're at the house. Feeling good. I know you were watching it with the kids and everybody around. Tell me what you thought about this big win and how the fact that we're on to Philadelphia.
Bounce back game from Boston. Great effort team-wide. Throughout the entire team, they were playing together. They were attacking the basket. They were getting out in transition. The bigs showed up tonight. Davis Bertans even hit a couple threes. Overall, great performance. Now I want to see this exact same performance taken up to Philadelphia. I want to see this performance travel up to the city of brotherly love. This is what I want to see from the Wizards. Russell Westbrook doing his thing out there. Bradley Beal didn't even have to play in the fourth quarter, but you had Daniel Gafford showing up big on the defensive end. That was a huge key. Having 5 blocks in the game, but 5 blocks were all in the first half. Absolutely love his performance. Love what the Wizards did today.
Guys, this was a fun game to watch. Tony Massenberg, you and I were not too far away from each other. We came into this game not necessarily certain, but halfway through the second quarter, we're like, yeah, this thing's about to roll our way. Tell me what you saw tonight in the big matchup.
Well, I just saw everything clicking. I saw the Wizards making shots. I saw the Wizards taking their time offensively, making sure that they got some good looks at the basket. And the formula that I talked about before the game, when you talk about production from the backcourt, the all-star backcourt at that in Russell, Westbrook, and Bradley Beal. You got that. Then you got the help from the bench. Tremendous bench production tonight when you go down the board. Then you look at what Daniel Gafford was able to do on the defensive end, on the rebounding side, 13 rebounds. I thought when Robin Lopez came into the game, I thought he was effective. He ended up with more points than minutes. So the Wizards played big on the block when they had to. They got production from people off the bench. I thought Raul Neto was great coming in, dropping 14. I look at the way Rui stepped up with his 18 points. I just thought it was a total team effort tonight by the Wizards with no real defensive lapse.
Chris Miller, the Wizards 8-2 when being up by 10 at the half. That's an 80%. I'll take that. And to boot, we beat the Pacers for the 4th time this season. Something that we were talking about was going to be very difficult. You were the pioneer in that. Here it is. We got it done tonight. What did you see from the house?
I was shocked that they were able to put 142 on the Pacers. They averaged 140 in the previous meetings. The Pacers defense was awful. That's going to change Sunday at 1 p.m. But for tonight, I'm just going to tell you one Wizards fan what they told me tonight. And it's one of our good friends, Eric Hill, who's in the back. He's getting my microphone on. He's excited. He goes, and I quote, "We're going to beat the Sixers in 4. Fo, fo, fo." And I just was like, that's how Wizards fans should be reacting tonight. You come off a great win like this. I thought the crowd was in it. I don't care how many people were in there. They were loud.
Yeah.
And how about this, guys? In this play-in tournament so far, the home team has won every game. There is something to be said about the 6th person in the NBA. It matters. The fans matter in these arenas. And I'm sure any player that we talk to tonight will admit the energy level in there helped boost them. Guys, I was doing advanced Sixers scout with 10 minutes to go when they were up 30. That's when I tweeted it out. We're on to Philadelphia. This thing was over. They blew that team out. They lost all their confidence over there. And you want to give credit where credit is due? How about Scott Brooks, man? After that Boston game, he still stayed on message. Yeah. He said, I still believe in my guys. We're going to be okay. And Russell Westbrook, we knew this guy don't have 2 bad games.
Nope.
You knew he was going to come out determined in the beginning of this game, and I thought that set the tone, and Bradley was terrific per usual.
That's what I'm talking about. Jason Smith, look at what Russ did tonight. 18 points, 2 rebounds shy of another triple-double on the season with 15 dimes. 33 minutes on the court, getting us across the hump into the playoffs. No more play-in, sir.
You know, Russell Westbrook was just making it apparent that he wanted to get to the rim. He didn't care who was guarding him. He wanted to get to the basket, to get to the free throw. Again, a nice little mid-range jumper. But getting out in transition is what he really does best because it's him attacking the basket, attacking an unset defense. You got to give credit. Malcolm Brogdon was doing a pretty good job, but when he did stop him, those passing lanes opened up right there as you saw Bradley Beal go up for that dunk. But the best thing that I like seeing from Russell Westbrook, he was having fun. He was smiling. He was getting everybody involved per usual. He loves playing against the Pacers. Like I said before, I want to see this translate up into Philly.
I want to see it too. You know what we're going to have to deal with when we get to Philly, Tony Massenberg? Joel Embiid. We're not going to do a full look ahead just yet. But the reason I'm bringing him up is he's going to have to deal with something we've got, which is a three-headed monster of the bigs inside. Daniel Gafford literally blocked every single thing in here. It's almost like back in the day when you take your phone off the hook just so that way you can block all the calls, everything. That's what Daniel Gafford did tonight. Nobody was getting away with him in the paint.
Oh, it was most definitely a block party, Wes, when you talk about what Gafford was doing. Just overall great rim protection, and not just the rim protection on the defensive end, but the legs to get out and run and be a part of the fast break situations and be the recipient of lobs like this one right here that you see him catch from Russell Westbrook. This type of energy at the center spot is not something you commonly see in this league, and that's why you don't see a lot of teams being able to figure out what it is that the Wizards are doing right now. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what this three-headed monster with our bigs is going to be able to do against Joel Embiid.
Chris, I'm looking at the box score right now, and I see bench points. And I see the Wizards put up 63 bench points against the Pacers to their 43. Talk to me briefly about this being the moment that we knew everybody had to show up. In pregame, you said all hands on deck. Tonight, did they answer the call in your opinion?
Absolutely. The stars were stars, and we talked about the role players, the others. Just do your job. Just do what you do. In that month of April, the reason why they won 8 in a row is because I thought everybody had their hand in the success of the team. And tonight, you guys talked about the landlord. Rent was due. 5 get out of here's. I absolutely love seeing Daniel Gafford do that. But the others were just as important. I love what Ish Smith, Raul Neto, you name it. Whoever got their name called tonight did something. And Davis Bertans. I'm going to tell you why it was important for Davis to come back into the game. One of my buddies tweeted me and said, why is Davis back in there? He's been struggling. It is important for him to see the ball go into the net before this series with Philadelphia. He needed to see those 2 threes go in there, guys, because he's got to get his confidence on another level. Because what is going to happen Sunday is you're going to face the best team in the East. I know Tony loves Brooklyn. They didn't get the number 1 seed. Philly earned it. And I feel like everybody needed to get their confidence up, take advantage of Indiana, so you can go into Philly 1 p.m. on Sunday knowing that you're going to be in for a street fight, but at least you know your confidence is going to be up.
I'm looking forward to this street fight. It's going to be a brawl, but it's going to be a pretty one. And Chris, you're absolutely right. Keeping Davis in the game. Tony and I were talking about it. He's in there to get back in rhythm. Excellent observation, sir. I appreciate that. But now, guys, let's jump into the film room, give Wizards what the pros saw. Jason Smith, Tony Massenberg, both of you guys played in the league. It's time to show the people what you got. I'm coming to you first, Sticks, on this one. Tonight, my man, Rui Hachimura, you called his name. Gave you 18 points tonight. Came down, had a hard fall, but he got back up. And that's what we want. He got back up, persevered, and came
I had
back.
a bold prediction of 20 points, Wes, and he didn't quite get there, but I'm okay with that. He didn't even play in the 4th quarter. I'm okay. I'm not salty or anything. I'm glad that he's healthy after that big fall, but he was doing great things out there. He was getting out in transition. He was running the floor. He was also knocking down a couple threes. That's what you'd like to see from this guy. He's kind of the 3rd threat on the floor, but taking advantage of just moving the ball and getting into pick and roll situation. It's hard to guard him. You don't know if he's going to pop or if he's going to roll. He also has the athleticism to get to the bucket just like that in pick and roll. But you love to see this. This was mind-boggling to me. He takes a dribble and basically Dr. J's himself to the rim with one hand?
Yeah.
Like, he's got the big paws to do that. That is absolutely incredible to see. He's got the athleticism to get there in one dribble and finish so finessely with one hand.
I love it. I even felt a little bit of Kawhi Leonard in there as well because he'd sit there and got the big hand and claws. Like, when was the last time you saw a dude palm on the drive and finish with the same hand? Great move by Rui tonight. But, Tony, let's talk about Daniel Gafford some more, because why not? Because it's Daniel Gafford, and we're going to talk about Daniel Gafford as long as we can. Let's tell me what you saw about the landlord tonight and what he did down inside the paint.
Well, the energy level from the landlord was great as always, but what I saw was him really engaged on the defensive end and making sure that guys did not get easy looks at the basket. And when I'm talking about this right here, you see Malcolm Brogdon up top, and you're looking at Gafford. He's looking at Sabonis, but now he's switched off on the Brogdon. So now what does he do? He understands he's got